Hi, hello everyone. This is Danny with Skin Harmonics, and I am the creator of the very first Medi-Holistic skin resurfacing product line and process and method. And what I wanted to jump on today is, and talk about is continuing this deconstruction of the three biggest acne misunderstandings. And the ones that I talked about previously were this like bacteria obsession. That would be like one of the previous topics that I covered. And then number two, this like old idea that acne requires a ton of exfoliation, and it's this like buildup of skin cells that has to be undone by over exfoliating. So definitely check out those videos. This video is going to talk about this old acne idea that acne is caused by excess oil production. And with all good myths and bad myths, there's always a little bit of truth to it. But it's not quite that simple at all. Anybody suffering from acne will tell you that. Nothing is simple, really. So, what I want to deconstruct today is this old belief that acne is caused by excess oil production. And it's just simply not true. It's a symptom in a certain way. However, we are born with our pore size, and we're born with a genetic setting for that correlates with pore size to oil production. Now, this is going to be different for everybody, and it's not about just removing the oil in our skin to solve all of our acne problems. That is actually a huge step in the wrong direction. It's about how can we balance oil production that's accurate to each individual's unique genetic code and setting. So, in doing that, this aim of balancing oil production rather than eradicating oil production, which is very problematic, by the way, I'll list the reasons why it's problematic. Constantly removing oil creates an overproduction of oil to begin with. So, the more people are removing their oil and removing their facial oil, thinking that it's the enemy and it's the reason of their acne, what happens is what benzoyl peroxide is a product that absorbs all this oil, and it works temporarily because that can sometimes temporarily put things at bay. But what happens long term is that our skin goes into overproduction, and at the end of a few months or definitely a few years, somebody's skin is producing 10 to 20 times more oil than they normally would. And then this becomes a huge problem because this really is excess oil production, which is a way that our skin is completely out of balance. So, the way to balance oil production is to hydrate, restore our skin's barrier so that it can find its genetic setting. Now, what does that mean? Hydrating our skin means not over exfoliating it, not using astringents, using a hydrating serum, and ideally a dermal nutrient serum combined. And then restoring our barrier means using a lipid, using a fat, using a heavier moisturizer that traps that hydrating serum and the dermal nutrients in our skin, prevents water loss. It essentially just prevents the evaporation of water. Every time our skin is over cleansed and our natural acid mantle is removed, guess what? We've just instantaneously dehydrated our skin, caused an overproduction of oil to be made, and it also gives our skin a ton of anxiety so that it can't even begin to think on or scheme on how it's going to heal, because our skin just goes into survival mode, which is not conducive for deep healing, I promise you. So there's this obsession of like, we have to reduce oil production, we have to eradicate oil, and that is sabotaging in a crucial way how we must balance oil production. Skin that is making oil at its own genetic setting and has hydrated skin the top layer of our skin is fluffy and hydrated and soft and permeable, has this correct capacity to actually make oil at its genetic setting. It stays liquid. It moves up through this like open pore and stays liquid and moves across the surface of our skin. And that's what we want to happen. And when that happens and that's put into place, our skin doesn't have to continually make more and more and more oil. It's there. The acid mantle has been established. Minimal cleansing keeps it in place. Minimal exfoliation keeps it in place. And instead of exfoliating, we're feeding our skin for new skin cells, remember? So this obsession of having to eradicate oil on our skin is just, it's just so yesterday. It's like such a dinosaur. I mean, it's not possible to do, and it's not beneficial in any way to do for our skin. Another reason that we want to have a natural intact acid mantle is that when our skin doesn't have that, it becomes irritated way easily, and it becomes sensitized to the sun, which means it's going to age even faster. More hyperpigmentation, more wrinkles down the road. All of these things happen from this eradication of oil strategy, which, you know, it used to be that this was one of the go-to strategies because we didn't understand the importance and the role that our natural oils play in the health of our skin. But the good news is that we know now. Any good holistic esthetician will tell you this, and we've known it for years. There's just been this like very stubborn corrective medical skincare approach that's all about fixing acne and fixing acne overnight in a very, I don't want to say like caveman strategy, which if it worked, it would be great, but it doesn't work. It sabotages our skin's natural healing process and sets the healing out further and further and further to where we're just in this like this loop where we have to like, oh my God, kill the bacteria. Number 2, exfoliate. Number 3, we have to like eradicate all my skin's oils and its inherent ability and natural talent and gift to make oil is inherently wrong. And it's messed up, folks. It's just like not going to get us the results that we want long term. So that is my rants about this obsession with wanting to destroy our oil. I think if I had a t-shirt, I could make a t-shirt that says oil is not the enemy. Bacteria is not the enemy. Your skin cells are not the enemy. So anyways, folks, please check out my website, Skin Harmonics. Check out my book. I have a blog. I post daily, and get smart, get educated, learn that there are other ways, better ways for us to be healing our acne. All right, I'll see you next time.